Hear all about it. Audiobooks are all the rage among the stay-at-home set. Our David Pogue invites you to lend him your ears.
Rumor has it that you might have a little extra time at home these days, and I've got just the thing to fill it. Listening to books. Now, in the old days, they were called books on tape. They weren't very compact. In fact, even books on compact disc weren't very compact. One Harry Potter book takes 17 of them. And then this happened.
Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that
Suddenly, the smartphone made audiobooks so convenient that this happened. Double-digit revenue growth year after year. Over 45,000 new audiobooks recorded last year alone. $1 billion in sales.
I call my house the house that books built. It's a nice living.
And seeing the multitudes.
Meet Scott Brick, audiobook superstar. They call him the man with the golden voice. He's recorded Jurassic Park, In Cold Blood, Alexander Hamilton, and 900 other books. It's not something people do in life, to read continuously for 8 hours.
No, it's true. People say to me, I'm interested in doing audiobooks. What should I do? And I say, well, grab something at random, go sit in your closet and just read out loud for 8 hours. And if you feel like doing it again tomorrow, give me a call.
Hallowed be thy name.
Earlier this year, we found Brick recording a classic bestseller, the Bible.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
I've had Lyft drivers say, have we met? I hear your voice. I feel like I know you. I've had women who said, I take you to bed every night with me.
6 minutes from now, one of us would be dead.
But nobody's a bigger fan of Scott Brick's narration than best-selling author Brad Meltzer.
Scott has an amazing baritone. He makes me sound handsome, more muscular. He makes me sound like I have hair.
There's no such thing as a perfect kiss, but this one's definitely in the running. She murmurs.
Do you hear his voice as you're writing?
I always put an accent just to see if he can do it. You know, you'll hear someone who has a Bulgarian accent in the book, and you're like, oh, that's an interesting thing to describe. No, that's just me trying to see if Scott Brick can pull it off in the audiobook.
These are supposed to be clean room conditions. You know how much time and money you just cost us? He shouts, raging forward.
People say, oh, why don't you read your own book? I can't do 30 voices. I can't do scenes of someone's death and make you come to tears. A good reader can do that.
The very best readers come here every year to the Audie Awards, the industry's highest honor. This year, they were hosted by our own Mo Rocca.
Here I am in this fabulous venue, and Stephen King is here.
Once money, fame, and prestige came to the humble audiobook,
"Oh no," declared the Scarecrow.
Plants were like people.
it didn't take long for Hollywood to notice.
In the beginning, I had competition, but not anymore.
I read the complete autobiography of Malcolm X as told to Alex Haley, and it was incredible.
The story ends.
Lawrence Fishburne's resume is full of credits from Broadway, TV, and movies.
You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland.
But now he can add audiobook narrator.
I could, for the first time, pick up a book and read and now begin to understand what the book was saying.
I've noticed that more and more recognizable names from Hollywood are starting to record audiobooks. And I'm just wondering, what's the attraction?
Everything. I have been blessed with what I've been told is a wonderful speaking voice.
Oh, it's incredible, dude.
And so, if I can use my speaking voice to tell stories that inspire people, that lift them up, that brighten their day,
wow,
that's a gift.
Is it acting?
Yes, of course.
If I was not reading in the library, I was reading on my bunk. You couldn't have got me out of books with a wedge.
I do remember walking out of the first recording I did as just a narrator, thinking that was the most taxing physical experience I've ever had. And I've, trekked into pulp.
Then why didn't you raise any of these concerns?
Jesse Eisenberg played Mark Zuckerberg in the movie The Social Network.
Mr. Zuckerberg, do I have your full attention?
No.
And Lex Luthor in Batman vs. Superman. But now he's pushing the definition of an audiobook.
And I've been thinking about this criticism, and I'm sorry to say this, but I don't fully agree with you.
He's written a 3-character audiobook, audio play, audio novel called When You Finish Saving the World.
Like as a metaphor. It marries my two favorite things more acutely than anything else I could think of, which is, writing fiction and performing.
Wow. And plus, you don't need to dress up or take a shower. You can just...
It's perfect for me, because I barely do either one, except when I'm appearing on CBS.
We're deeply honored.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I know what it feels like to work for someone else.
What's also new about Eisenberg's project is that he wrote it expressly for audio, not for print. It's called an Audible original. Audible.com is the big kahuna of audiobooks. Is there a prestige value these days to having been a reader for some of these books? Is it like cool?
Yes. I think actors, and I'm certainly one of them who do a lot of Hollywood-style movies, I think for a lot of them, you feel like you also want to be involved with the kind of small things that you're a fan of that don't get as much attention.
For now, audiobooks are getting a lot of attention. And by the way, you don't have to pay money for them. You can download audiobooks from your library. And one more thing, there's no shame in listening to a book.
You're still getting the story. You're getting exactly what the author wanted you to get.
But what about that whole thing about you, Scott, are depriving me of letting my brain imagine what they sound like?
I want to do just enough to keep your imagination muscle working.
Yeah.
My job is to get the author's story across.
Right.
Job one. If I've done that, then anything else is gravy.